Hi everyone, my name is Sammy, and I was a Research and Evaluation Vista here at Women's Initiative during the year 2013. I'm going to do a couple of videos here where I show you how to work with Women's Initiative data. This first video is going to be very introductory. It will serve you well probably if you've never worked with Excel much or haven't worked with Excel in a long time or have never explored a database, or it's just going to be a really brief and really simple tutorial about the variables, how they're set up, what they mean, and how to navigate the spreadsheet and do some basic filtering and manipulation. So the first thing you'll notice on the very left-hand side, there's a column that refers to a variable called client ID. And what client ID is it's a unique number that we use to identify our clients. And each client is assigned one client ID, and they don't know that they've been assigned a client ID, but very rarely when you use these data sets are you ever looking at clients by their names. You're almost always looking at just their client ID. And so each woman has a single client ID, and she's the only person with that client ID. So for example, we might have two women named Maria Sanchez, but we can identify them apart by the fact that even though they have the same name, that they have different client IDs. And if you were to, and then so each row on this spreadsheet is what we like to call an observation. Basically, each row represents one survey or one My Business Action Plan registration form, something like that. And you can see that for this client ID, number 15990, whoever she is, she lives in Honolulu, took the course in English, took the course in the city of Oakland. The date of her My Business Action Plan registration was February 5th, 2009, etc. And so each of the other variables in the spreadsheet just represents something about that woman. WI program signifies what language she took the course in, so we have E's and we have A's. E is for English and A is for alas, or Spanish. And probably the most important variable besides client ID is this one called wave. In fact, it's so important that I am going to move it right next to client ID. So I'm going to select the entire column. I'm going to hit cut. Over here, I'm going to select the entire column B, right click, and after right clicking, this is a little slow, I am not going to choose paste, because what paste would do would replace all that data that you see here. It's not very interesting data, but I'm going to hit insert cut cells, and what insert cut cells will do is it'll create a whole nother column to put that data in. So we've kept all this data right here. And so what wave signifies is the number of years, or sometimes it's in months, the number of months, since a woman has graduated from our program. So, for example, wave 0 means that she has not yet graduated from our program. It's probably data from a My Business Action Plan registration form, or her application to the course, or her business status update on the very last day of class. But wave 2 means that that client graduated 2 years ago. So very oftentimes, you will see in a single spreadsheet, you will see the same client ID twice. We have it here in 15262, we have it down here in 19510. In some data sets, you'll see the same client ID 2, 3, 4, or 5 times. And what that means is that, so for example here, in row number 16, you're looking at client ID 19510 and wave 0, which means that this row of data represents that client when she first took the course. And then row 17 represents all the data for that client when she was 2 years out, or 2 years after she took the course. And so, not very much in this data set, but oftentimes in larger data sets, you will have a single client ID several times for different waves, at waves 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, signifying her progress or lack thereof after she graduated the course. So this is very important for us as an agency because we can take a single client like 19510 and compare, we'll say, her personal income over the years since she graduated from the course. So for example, let's say that she had a personal income of $12,000 a year at wave 0, and then at wave 2 she had a personal income of $24,000 a year. We can compare that client to herself and say that 2 years after graduating from our program she had doubled her personal income. And this is extremely important for us when we talk about the outcomes of our program. So that's the basic gist of it. Some of the variables are pretty self-explanatory, like city home, graduation date. Some variables you might need to ask somebody what they mean, such as participant. I'm not even sure what that means. SL probably means success link, so the ones probably mean that they were a success link member, but some of them can be sort of vague, so you might want to ask. Once you're getting ready to work with the data set, one of the things I like to do is go up here to the upper right hand corner and grab this little bar that's up here and just drag it down once. And what you're doing is you're freezing the first row so that you can actually scroll through the spreadsheet, and those column headers with the variable names will stay up there as you scroll through the spreadsheet. It's extremely helpful. Another thing that's important to know is to select an entire column. You click on the letter and it will select that entire column. To select an entire row, you do the same thing with the number. And to select the entire spreadsheet, you can click on this triangle up here and it'll select every cell in the entire spreadsheet. The other thing I like to do before I do anything with a spreadsheet, is I like to select all the cells, so I hit the little triangle. I go up to sort and filter, and all I do is select filter and hit that. What that's going to do for us is you can see now all of the column headers have turned into little drop down boxes. And so, for example, if I wanted to sort or filter this spreadsheet by a certain variable, let's say sales, let's see if I want to see who has the highest sales, I can click that little triangle to get the drop down box. And it will give me some options for filtering. So I can say sort largest to smallest. Sometimes you'll get a little dialog box that pops up asking you if you want to quote-unquote expand the selection, and you always choose yes. So now we can see that the entire spreadsheet is organized based on how much sales the clients make. So up here on the first row you have the client with highest sales at $48,000 a month, which might be hard to believe, but definitely possible. When we first started, the spreadsheet was sorted by client ID number in ascending values, but now it's sorted by sales, which is very important. So another thing that you can do with these drop-down boxes is select not only sort them, but select out values you don't want to see. Oftentimes this might be something like, let's say, a lot of times it's blank values, but we don't have any blank values here. But let's say we want to only look at women who are making sales. So we can deselect 0, and what we're doing is we're deselecting clients who have 0 sales. We hit OK, and so now, as you can see, we're just going to look at the column with sales. We can scroll up and down the spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet now only includes women who have a value of greater than 0 for the variable sales, which is really important. Alright, so in the next video, this particular data set will be looking for errors in data entry, and there is a list in the second sheet down here, I guess I could explain real quick that down here, any Excel file can have different sheets. So this first sheet, which says var ww widbiz exports KDTailor 2, has all the data, and then in the second sheet here we have what's called checklist, and Katie, my manager here, has given me a list of questions to look at, such as if clients report being employed, is there also reported employment income? So in the next video that I'll make, I will show you how to answer all these questions by sort of filtering the data and such. Alright.